Hello and welcome back to Tavuli News in Review 2025. I'm Jeremy Guang.
And I'm Lisa Ossifello. In this episode, we look back at some of the main stories Tavuli News has covered during the month of November and early December, including labour mobility, governance, community issues, and of course, sports.
Now, these stories reflected important national conversations and regional engagement during the final months of the year.
All good. Thank you, Tomas. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We begin with the Regional Corporation. The Pacific Labour Mobility Annual Meeting 2025 was officially held in Honiara. The brief opening ceremony marked the start of discussions held from the 4th to the 6th of November at the Aquatic Centre.
Now, the meeting brought together regional partners to discuss labour mobility priorities and also cooperation.
Thank you very much.
The Pacific Labour Mobility Annual Meeting 2025 officially opened this morning, Tuesday, in Honiara, Solomon Islands, to mark the commencement of discussions and inclusive dialogue. The meeting brings together key labour mobility stakeholders from across the Pacific and beyond, with the guest of honour, Solomon Islands Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele. In delivering his keynote address, welcomed delegates and says Solomon Islands is honoured to host the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Labour Mobility Annual Meeting unites our governments, employers, workers, and partners under one shared purpose, and that is to ensure that labour mobility delivers real and lasting development for Pacific people. For Solomon Islands, labour mobility is not just an economic policy. It is a lifeline of opportunity. This has been referenced in the midterm review report of our National Development Strategy 2016 to 2035. Thousands of Solomon Islanders have found meaningful work abroad, gained new skills, supported their families, and returned home with renewed hope and experience.
Hosting the Pacific Labour Mobility Annual Meeting 2025 is a collective effort between the Government of Solomon Islands and the Pacific PACER Plus Implementation Unit. The PACER Plus arrangement on labour mobility established the Pacific Labour Mobility Annual Meeting as the premier regional forum to advance labour mobility cooperation. Since its inception in 2017, following the signing of the PACER Plus agreement, has provided a platform for inclusive dialogue and strengthened collaboration across the Pacific labour mobility ecosystem.
I think yesterday was the Pacific Caucus, where the Pacific countries come together and discuss issues in relation to labour mobility, which is really important. Gives them an opportunity to have a free, frank discussion amongst other Pacific countries. So it's a really useful session for countries to express some of their issues or any concerns that they may have in relation to labour mobility. So it's a really good opportunity for everyone to come together. And the usual things are discussed, in relation to welfare of the workers, reintegration back into communities. I think those are the important things for a lot of countries. Is when workers travel to Australia and New Zealand, they're well looked after and they're taken care of. So I think those are the key things. And also obviously some of the economic benefits from labour mobility and what it can do for people in the Pacific.
Over the next 3 days, participants will discuss practical strategies to improve recruitment processes, strengthen partnership and reintegration initiatives. Today marks the official opening of the Pacific Labour Mobility Annual Meeting 2025, with the theme Sustainable Reintegration Begins with Fair and Effective Recruitment. Now, this year's meeting holds an estimate of around 300 delegates who will, for the next couple of days, deliberate on issues faced by workers in the scheme and ways in which the scheme can be enhanced to maximize the program and the benefits to each and every country represented here at the meeting. This meeting is hosted by the Government of Solomon Islands with PACER Plus Implementation Unit. From Honiara, Lisa Ossifello, Tavuli News.
In local governance, the closure of the Point Cruz clothes market drew strong public reaction. Now, women vendors protested at Honiara City Council after the market was demolished.
Honiara City Council Law Enforcement Director Robert Mardell clarified that the closure followed legal advice, stating that the market was operating illegally without a license and breached city business regulations. Most of the affected vendors were women who relied on daily sales in the area.
Director of Honiara City Council Law Enforcement, Robert Mardell, clarifies the reason behind closing down of the clothes market at Point Cruz. Women vendors protested to Honiara City Council yesterday after the ordeal. Mardell told Tavuli News that based on legal advice from the council, administration authorities were given directives to stop all business activities within the Point Cruz cloth market area as it is classified as illegal and is breached Honiara City Council business regulation without license to run private businesses within Honiara City.
City Council no got any issue with him, the owner of that fella land parcel, except that him no comply with him the market ordinance, where him should seek him approval first before him survey operating such market within private land. I think this message must be clear. You must obtain him approval from the council, the authority, then you survey. Go ahead and do a market within your private land. So that is why the City Council have taken this course of action.
Women vendors marched in protest to HCC yesterday to demand answers after HCC demolished the clothing market at Point Cruz. Most vendors are women who sell clothing items on a daily basis in the area.
If you got a server at ready venue for me fala fogo do marketing lo there for me pasave garem slane and otas for do mo sem lo mi fala but if ot save ot no ready any place for what do mo sem for me lo mi fala hem no straight hem bar no straight and lo time you drop from bus lo opposite big market ya or people lo market for street why not or just go and arrest him or kita or hold him or kita
mi fala like him too much for town council for fighting space for mi fala him no ma consent do mi fala and consent do mi datana mi para like him because lo yana by me sabe te kema little bit income o same where mi fala ota woman where mi fala do marketing o same lo here
most of every women where mi fa market lo here mi fala no garem job only one mi fa sa any money lo hem no ma is market lo mi fala well here
him really affecting me too like every day what me doing daily this is my daily work yeah have to come every morning put him up small market blomi and this is how me get them income for family blomi for support him na or children blomi for put him food lo table so him bara really affecting me
him no good time ota dream o sem ota come through him ota come if him say him right lot of come dream o sem but ota should come in a way that o sem come where mi fal ota woman no mo lo here ya ota come ot for rasi mi fal o sem o dream ota kind things o sem o should easy way mi fala no ma
every women mi fala fright mi fala shock some fala women where ota garem osem lelebet trauma lo one happen yesterday
Pankasal him not noticing me fala like if him noticing me about 3 months or same I think me fa ota mami ba satisfied
but mi fala osem mi fala like normal for ota tang council for look save lo mi fala ota women where mi fala market lo here
because me no garem place pepa mi sa do any market ma unless ota authorities or kata find him any space somewhere more for relocating me follow him then lo there ba mi save start off back with him what na me normally do.
National attention also focused on accountability surrounding the 2023 Pacific Games. Now, Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele confirmed that the Pacific Games audit report was expected to be completed by the first quarter of 2026.
Earlier in February, opposition leader Matthew Wale raised concerns, accusing the National Hosting Authority of delaying the release of audit documents. He said the delay raised concerns about corruption, noting that millions of taxpayer and donor funds were involved.
Now, auditors indicated that the delay was linked to outstanding documentation required to verify certain major procurements.
Pacific Games audit report will be ready by the first quarter of 2026. This comes after Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele answered questions raised during a press conference this week.
There has been some progress, but part of the delay is due to the fact that the Games Organizing Committee, who was given the responsibility to expend most of the funds, straight after the Games, the Organizing Committee was it was disbanded. So that leaves the hosting authority, the National Hosting Authority, with the task of trying to retrieve even documents and records that are needed by the Auditor General's office. We know the agency, we know that there is public interest to ensure that this audit work is completed as soon as we can. So the chairman and the members of the hosting authority are committed to ensuring that all the audit reports here are completed and of course tabled in cabinet and also.
Earlier this year, in February, leader of the opposition, Matthew Wale, accused the National Hosting Authority of delaying the release of audit documents for the 2023 Pacific Games. These documents include transactions for major procurements related to the event. Wale believes the delay raises further concerns about corruption allegations. He emphasized that millions of taxpayer and donor funds were allocated, and the failure to provide timely audit documentation fuels suspicions. The main obstacle is the NHA's delay in submitting required documents, with auditors stating that proper documentation to support the validity of actions and transactions for certain major procurements has not yet been provided.
In education and skills development, the Pacific Australia Skills Program was officially launched in November. The program involved close collaboration with the Ministry of Education, businesses and communities to identify priority training areas.
It was designed to be flexible and responsive, ensuring Solomon Islands could access the skills it needs when required. Now, the initiative builds on nearly 2 decades of work under the Australia-Pacific Training Coalition, which supported thousands of Solomon Islanders through qualification and short courses.
The Pacific Australia Skills Program is said to involve close collaboration with the Ministry of Education to identify priority training areas, while also engaging businesses and communities to ensure the initiative is tailored to local needs. The newly launched Pacific Skills Australia program is designed to be flexible and responsive, ensuring Solomon Islands can access the skills it needs when required.
Is designed to be flexible and responsive so that we can get the skills that Solomon Islands needs when they need them. And that means that we'll be working very closely with the Minister for Education about what types of skills and training people would like to see rolled out. And we'll also work with businesses and community members to make sure that this is a tailored program. One of the good things about this program is it will closely link with the Pacific Labour Mobility Scheme and also the work that we do to improve private sector businesses. That collaboration between all of the programs, which means that we'll have workers who are getting skilled here, have the opportunity to go and work in Australia, and when they come back, they'll be able to apply those skills to private sector businesses. We know that skills are incredibly important for economic development. That's why I was really proud to launch the program here today, and I know that it will make a really big difference to have this program rolled out, not just here, but around the country as well.
The program builds on nearly 2 decades of collaboration under the Australia Pacific Training Coalition, which supported 2,186 Solomon Islanders to earn full qualification and a further 5,843 to complete short courses and micro-credentials.
Culture and tradition were also celebrated. Now, people of the Russell Islands gathered at the Marulan village to celebrate their annual Lavukal Chiefs Day. Now, the celebration was held under the theme, Upholding Culture, Unity and Leadership. Here's the story.
The two-day event that honors traditional leadership and strengthens community unity officially began on Sunday morning with a church service to bless the newly enthroned chiefs. 5 new nominees were installed to carry out their chiefly responsibilities, marking a significant occasion for the Lavukal people.
So, me fala people of Lavukal, me fala bara happy too much because by ota come up for by ota doing good work for me fala also.
New culture, new life will be coming. So this time we looking that of the chiefs like for providing people together as one. And now we will come and look him then for me will follow.
We will should select him the good ones or the respected ones. But another one or doing good thing lo temlota, we have to change him.
So far, we will say work with them the chiefs blow me fala so that we will have improve work blow the chiefs blow Lavukal.
Especially me fala people today, also me fala young people today, me fala should not doing kind of a way where other chiefs no like him kind daranga or doing rugby something or some me fala should not do him. Me fala come together, work together for me fala stay good also.
So embarawa good too much for this fala day as the chief come together and celebrating this fala Chief Day Blocolta.
The newly appointed chiefs expressed their gratitude towards the people of Lavukal and their clans. The celebration brought together tribal chiefs from across all districts of the Russell Islands, a time to reconnect, share ideas and strengthen traditional ties.
I feel accept now for the academy, me accept now the person as a clan chief. Maybe I'm giving thanks to the people of me. As what I academy as a clan chief, me stand for ruling now clan Blomina lo kiwara group. As lo any problem, me na for settle on.
The priority is Blomina, but make sure the people Blomi are happy about my leadership. Yeah, happy here meaning that me have to make sure that we live together in unity and peace. Yeah, I'm not the number one, and then they have to respect each other. We make sure that these people live side by side with them others here, because they are different clans here, and then they have the one leader looking after them. Yeah, so that one is very important. Make sure that these clans never go, fight each other or raw come between okata. Yeah.
To understand more the samvala challenges, me hard too much for me. Hemi challenges also because staka ogata races, also clan lomi hemi married out, so you had for control them ogata, for sit down them ogata, while ogata became problems and to stop together dispute also.
Me expect him ogata for cooperate with them inoma, because cooperation noma the key to living together. Yeah, you may live together with our rights, you may practicing, yeah. Also, no mean something. So, me like them no more. The people blow me, but I must cooperate with me. I'll try for doing one of them, me tell them, yeah. And then the decision sometimes me make them not only me, not for making decision, yeah. Everyone inside the community or each member are responsible for look after my community.
Paramount chiefs also took part in the event, showing their support and gratitude to the newly appointed leaders. Their presence symbolized unity and the enduring ties among the Lavukal tribes.
That not newly chiefs were enthroned today. You need him what must. You need him what must wakatu yeah. As a chief or as a leader, what must do waka with him people. Because what the leaders, what the chiefs were what the enthroned today. Some follow village chiefs, some follow clan chiefs. I'm not what enthroned today. So me wanted me what me like him that everyone what must do waka block at the inside law what panemo taputum law like clan chiefs and village chiefs. Clan chiefs he must talk with them about the clan people blame, clan members blame. Then village chiefs he must take him what the people blame to the village who come together and doing things and what two for solving some problems where him happen inside the communities and clan blogata.
Lavukal's Chiefs Day continues to honor traditional leadership, a time to respect elders, celebrate cultural heritage, and strengthen unity among the Lavukal people. The weekend was indeed a celebration of culture, unity, and leadership as people came together in Marulaun village to celebrate the annual event. Margaret Nwake, Tavuli News.
Tavuli News also highlighted the spirit of volunteerism. We met Alison Wishart, who had volunteered for 6 months at the National Art Gallery.
She shared how volunteering, whether in communities, churches, or school, can be fulfilling and rewarding.
Meet Alison Wishart, a volunteer serving at the National Art Gallery for 6 months. But Alison was born in Solomon Islands in 1971 when her parents were once volunteers in the Western Province more than 50 years ago.
Yes, Tomoko Kamu with the music museum. Yes. My name is Alison Wishart. I'm an Australian volunteer from Sydney, and I've been working at the National Art Gallery in Solomon Islands, Honiara, for the past 6 months.
Her parents, John and Ruth, lived and volunteered in Solomon Islands in 1970 to 1972 and lived in Munda.
I'm Ruth Wishart, but my Solomon Island friends usually call me Helen. I worked at Munda from 1970 to 1972, and I worked part-time in the Helena Goldie Hospital.
My name is John Wishart. I am married to Ruth, or Helen as I knew her first, and I worked in the office for the United Church at Kakangalo at Munda.
Today, a volunteer just like her parents, Alison loves the work she does and always keeps in touch with her family.
We used to speak to Alison on WhatsApp once or twice a week, so we had as many questions to ask her, and I loved catching up about life in Honiara, where she'd been, people she'd met, paintings we'd seen, things that were happening in the gallery. We really looked forward to our twice a week phone calls. And Alison and I had a WhatsApp, so we exchanged a fair bit of information, and I shared it with my friends. So it's been great. We've had a good 6 months too.
But coming to Solomon Islands and volunteering was more than that. It was truly special for Alison. When she finally finishes her 6 months, Alison invites her parents and makes the return to Munda, Western Province, a place where they once called home.
My parents were both working in Kakangalo, which is where Helena Goldie Hospital is based, just near Munda in the Western Province of Solomon Islands. And they were based there from 1970 to 1972. And I was born there in 1971. I lived there for the first 18 months of my life, and I've really enjoyed coming back to Solomon Islands. I feel like I've reclaimed my identity and it's been wonderful to come back with them.
And we always wanted to take Alison back to where she was born and show her the place. And I think the most outstanding thing was we had to hunt very hard to find her house, Mary. Well, I think you might call it something else there. And it took a long time, but we finally found her village with the help of a taxi driver and one tox. And she ran out and put her arms around Alice and said, "My daughter has come back." Very emotional. And I think that's just one of the extra things that volunteers get, that they don't realise that it's a two-way thing. And we were delighted. And it's made such a wonderful time for us to come back. And now we can tell others, go and become a volunteer. It's worth it.
After more than 50 years, a lot has changed, but close contacts, relationships and memories will last forever.
It's really great to see some roads and buses in the village. So I see them as really positive.
I was really astounded by how much we were received. I get emotional. It was like going back home. And I think we leave something behind. We leave. And we also, as volunteers, although we give what we have, we get back a lot more from being with local people.
Volunteering feels like giving, but it is also in the receiving.
Been a very fulfilling 6 months. Life goes slowly sometimes, but these 6 months have gone very fast because it's been a really positive learning experience for me.
Lisa Osifello, Tavuli News.
In sports, the Beach Soccer Challenge kicked off at the Solomon Islands Football Federation Academy. 11 teams across 3 groups registered for the competition, one of the final events on the SIF calendar. Now, the tournament aimed to identify new beach soccer talent ahead of the Beach Soccer World Cup qualifiers, with plans announced for a Super Beach Soccer League in 2026.
The Beach Soccer Challenge kicks off this week at the SIF Academy. 3 groups and 11 teams registered for this year's challenge. Beach Soccer Challenge is one of the final activities on the SIF calendar and will bring new potential beach soccer talent into the spotlight.
Purpose of this competition and for select them out new players for coming on squad, building a squad for beach soccer next year. I think FIFA World Cup challenge next year, which Tahiti na host. Yeah, host country Tahiti. Last year Imi Solona host. This year Tahiti taking right for host back. So team by travel to Tahiti for the World Cup qualifiers around July, August. So I'm not purpose for running this team competition. So I'm finding out new players for play along with all players. Yeah, and I run for 8 days, then finals. By make 8 day na final ya. Then imisay huna I'm champion lords for a challenge.
The 2025 Beach Soccer Challenge is gearing up for next year's Beach Soccer World Cup qualifiers. SIF Academy will also launch the Super Beach Soccer League in February next year to continue developing the code. The competition started off over the weekend on Sunday and will continue over the week.
As a captain, we try best number for setting team. This new number the setting team number in the short time number really prepare for tournament. We were the second one, so we were first set up the team, then try test team the first game for Israel tournament. we will try and best for second round, we will try and move up more level we will play. So we want to start build with team on first game. So we hope by second match by look change a little bit from first match here. So we believe by what we want to coach we by second team more, lift them up more team for second game.
Hey, game today for sure I'm really tough. We follow boys. Try best to follow for manage for winning, but unfortunately we follow losing part. So well, this all competition. We follow, despite the loss, we follow look for that. By we follow yet for completing 3 follow match, and we follow by go for goal.
And in rugby, international experience was shared locally. Fiji Rugby Sevens legend Jerry Tuwai visited Honera to assist Team Covenant in preparations for the upcoming Super 7 series.
3-time Olympian Jerry Tuwai said sharing his experience in Solomon Islands was fulfilling and contributed to rugby development in the Pacific.
Shrieks in!
Comes Tuwai. Jerry Tuwai!
Solomon
Island Rugby, I hope to see the team win the Pacific game in 2 years' time. That's my dream, that's my hope for Solomon Rugby.
Tuwai with the feet. Tuwai in, away, Tuwai! Has he got it down?
One of the most decorated rugby players of all time, Fiji's Jerry Tuwai. What this legend of the game brings to Team Fiji and rugby is more than just sidesteps, deft passes and decoding defenses. Jerry Tuwai's biggest assets is his ability to bring out the best in those around him, and that includes Solomon Islands. Jerry Tuwai arrives in Solomon Islands with the aim to assist in one of the local clubs, which is part of the team that is heading to the Super 7 series next month in Fiji.
You might know that Covenant Rugby is one of 3 rugby teams, rugby clubs from the Solomon Islands that will be competing in the Super 7 series in Fiji next month. So that is a qualifier for the Coral Coast Sevens, which is scheduled for January of 2026. So Jerry being here is basically to assist in the development of the sport. Yeah. So at the moment, he's focused primarily on the Covenant boys. He's had sessions with the Usotasi rugby boys. He was also a guest at their corporate dinner last week. But the plan is that in the future he will likely come back with probably a much more broader role to play within Solomon Islands Rugby. Yeah?
Jerry Tuwai continues to share his knowledge, experience and passion for rugby and expresses the potential Solomon Islands has in the future.
Even when I'm coaching the boys, I can see a difference. And these young boys have really good potential. They are talented, they can run, they can sidestep. Now it's the time for you guys to build on these talents. So it can give them the opportunity when we go to Pacific game in 2 years' time, to prove that we all Pacific Islanders, we are good at this. And the potential is there. I think it's the help a little more with the development and the knowledge of the game. That's why I'm here. I've seen the potential. That's why I come here to just to build on the potential. It's something that I've always dreamed of, to go into the Pacific and share the knowledge. I believe that this knowledge, it's not mine. The experience that I've gained through the years, it's not mine. It's not for just a single group or just for Fiji, no. I believe in my heart that once you have that knowledge, it's for humanity, and for me, it's for all of us. That's why I'm doing this, to share the knowledge before God's calling time for us, for me. And for me to be sharing this knowledge is a passion, it's a dream, and I can take it personally because I grew up in that life and that rugby. This knowledge helped me from there to here. And I'm trying to share to the boys that rugby and its values can take you anywhere.
Although a brief stay in Solomon Islands, Jerry Tuwai hopes to return one day and is excited to see how rugby in Solomon Islands develop over time.
I think because I'll be leaving on Wednesday next week, maybe I'll just hide my passport or something for me to stay for a little longer. Yeah, I'll be back.
Lisa Fellow, Tavuli News. From regional cooperation and public accountability to community action and sporting development.
That also concludes our Tavuli News in review for 2025. Now, the big stories, highlights, and issues that made the headlines throughout this year 2025.
And as we wrap up our 2025 broadcast, on behalf of our Tavuli News team and news desk, we thank you for following us throughout this year. We will continue to inform you with news and information on our social media platforms throughout the festive season.
From all of us here at Tavuli News, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a peaceful and prosperous New Year 2026.